So for as long as I can remember, I've always struggled with some digestive discomfort. Even as a teenager, I remember feeling bloat and discomfort after eating a heavy carb meal. And as an ignorant teenager, I used to assume the discomfort was part of a normal process. And because I was always a health fanatic, I would eat what was found or touted as healthy. And this included anything fat-free at the time, fruits and vegetables. So I assumed my body was one step closer to optimal health, even when the discomfort was confounding my assumptions. And as I studied nutrition in grad school, I realized there were so many variables to consider when considering foods and digestion, physiology, metabolism, and digestion, to be specific. And it's no surprise that the diet industry is so successful. There's a new diet to lose weight just about every few weeks. And even as I was studying functional medicine, colleagues who have various specialty backgrounds in medicine were writing about various diets as the solution. It's because it's assumed that what we eat has profound effect on our physiology, and that diets sell year after year. It's a big, huge money-making industry. And I used to be the person who would try every diet that was advertised, from paleo to keto, vegan, intermittent fasting, macrobiotics, autoimmune. I've not only tried them all, but also had my patients try them too, hoping for the one diet that works. The result was that some diets work for some and not so much for others. And as a twin, I'm a fraternal twin, I used to envy my twin sister's ability to eat just about anything without suffering the consequences. Then, when I was diagnosed with lupus in 1999, I questioned everything I knew. And because medication was the only solution that my doctors could offer for my lupus, I sought out a traditional Chinese medicine doctor for holistic options. At the time, I was a vegan and had completed graduate studies in nutrition. Also, I was enrolled in a doctoral program in physical therapy. To everyone around me, I was the disciplined epitome of health, as I made it very clear about what I do and what I don't eat, especially to my immediate family and friends. Then, with the lupus diagnoses, everyone questioned my so-called healthy ways. So I transformed or transitioned from vegan to being a carnivore. The TCM doctor palpated and assessed me, and he told me that I shouldn't be a vegan and that I should eat meat. Not just any meat, but red meat. He educated me on my body constitution, which is the body type, and based on the yin and yang imbalances of my organs, my body desperately needed meat to support my healing, is what he told me. I complied without asking any questions, and within a few months, I was as healthy as my old self. So began my journey in traditional Chinese, really traditional Korean medicine, and recently Ayurvedic medicine. Too often in medicine in the West, we take a microscopic approach to our body versus taking a holistic approach. In Eastern medicine, the laws of nature are used as part of healing, and any disease symptoms are considered the result of imbalances in the body. So a little bit about Ayurvedic medicine for those of you who aren't familiar. I'm currently enrolled in yoga teacher training 300-hour with Asheville Yoga Center, and I just came back from studying Ayurvedic medicine last weekend. I was fascinated as it was very similar to the teachings of traditional Korean and Chinese medicine. And for those of you who don't know what Ayurvedic medicine really specifically is, it's a holistic science of healing that offers a logical approach for lifestyle interventions such as herbals, diet, and of course movement. Their theory is based on the elements that determine a person's constitution, which are Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. And based on one's dominant constitution coupled with seasonal relevance, one is instructed to balance their constitution for optimal health. Ayurvedic medicine teaches about the importance of digestion, gastric fire, which is called Agni, in which the digestive tract is the main entry through which nutrients are absorbed to be transferred to all cells. And according to Ayurvedic medicine, every food has its own taste, energy, and consequences in the body. And while it believes in the digestive fire to determine how well food is digesting, it also implies food combining as a great importance. And it's believed that when two or more foods that have different energy, taste, and digestive consequences are eaten together, our Agni, which is the digestive fire, can be overloaded, preventing the production of digestive enzymes and having a toxic effect on the body. However, when eaten separately, it can have a beneficial effect, stimulating your Agni, which is, again, digestive fire in your digestion. Poor food combining can result in indigestion, fermentation, putrefaction, and gas, which can all lead to disease. So let's talk a little bit about the general principles for food combining in Ayurvedic medicine. Number one is healthy digestive fire is the most powerful asset to balance the body. Two is to start your day with warm or a room temperature lemon water to wake up the digestive fire in the morning. Third is to understand that foods have different energetic effects in the body, cooling versus heating versus yin and yang. Fourth is eating half of fresh grated ginger with a pinch of rock salt before meals to boost digestive fire before meals. 5 is alkalizing foods such as leafy greens help you regulate digestion. 6 is taking small sips of warm water during a meal will help you with digestion and absorption of foods. And it's key to avoid iced water or drinks like carbonated beverages that can shock our digestive system. 7 is to learn to chew your food and savor the taste. And it's practicing conscious eating as a cultivated habit. So what are some of the food combining rules that you can follow? Well, one is don't eat beans with fruit, cheese, eggs, fish, milk, meat, and yogurt. The table will be shared with you. Second, don't eat eggs with fruit, melons, beans, cheese, fish, milk, meat, and yogurt. 3 is fruit. Avoid eating with any other food, so eat fruits by itself. 4 is don't eat grains with fruit or tapioca. 5 is don't drink hot drinks with mangoes, cheese, fish, meat, starch, and yogurt. 6 is don't eat lemon with cucumbers, milk, tomatoes, and yogurt. 7 is don't eat melons with everything, especially dairy. Melons is a no-no. Eat it alone. So dairy, eggs, fried foods, grains, and starches. Of all the fruits, melon should be eaten alone. And that I can't emphasize that enough because for some reason, melons have a negative effect when eaten with other fruits that I just mentioned. 8 is don't drink milk with bananas, cherries, melons, sour fruits, bread containing yeast, fish, meat, and yogurt. 9 is don't eat nightshades like potatoes, peppers, tomatoes with melon, cucumber, and dairy products. 10 is don't eat radishes with bananas, raisins, or milk. 11 is don't eat tapioca with fruit, especially banana, mango, beans, and raisins. And 12 is don't eat yogurt with fruit, cheese, eggs, fish, hot tea, meat, milk, or nightshades. As you can see, this is commonly practiced here in the West. One thing I do have to note is that when studying Eastern philosophies, I find that it often assumes that we adopt to its foods. For example, Ayurvedic foods or medicine emphasizes heavily the Indian foods. And macrobiotics is what I also studied, emphasizes heavily the Japanese foods. And then of course, traditional Korean medicine emphasizes the Korean foods. So I think it's really important for you to remember to eat locally in season and pay attention to where you are demographically. So during the summer months, eat the fruits in season that's local to you, as opposed to trying to eat winter fruits and vegetables in the summer months here in Georgia, for example. I hope that makes sense. I believe food is personal to each one of us, and we should focus on the holistic principles rather than the specific foods. As a Korean American, I crave certain foods at different phases of my life. For example, postpartum, we eat lots of seaweed soup to support the body with iron and nutrients that are lost during the delivery process. And when I'm sick, I crave my mom's bone broth soup with porridge because it's easily digestible. It's comforting to me. There's wisdom to eating certain foods at certain times of our lives in the East. Here in the West, I feel we've become an instant gratification society as we tend to zap foods in the microwave and don't really take the time to sit down and enjoy our meals. Something to think about as we practice mindfulness with yoga here at Alkaline Wellness. Our ultimate goal is to cultivate awareness and connect with our true nature, to be balanced and joyful in all facets of our lives. I do hope you enjoyed this blog. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Dr. Connie Jian. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook and Pinterest at Alkaline Wellness. And I'll see you guys next week.